What's up, everybody? I'm Zach with Half Pace Outdoors. Welcome to another awesome adventure that we did. We just spent an overnight under a fully enclosed tarp shelter with nothing but a whoopee and a wool blanket. It got down to like 15 degrees last night. It was super cold. So make sure you subscribe, hit the bell, go down and smash that like button, and let's go see how last night went. We are down here at what I'm going to call the backyard bushcraft area, or the Half Pace Outdoors office. Pack's a little heavy today. Actually want to lose my coat for a little while. It's a high of 25 today. When I looked at the thermometer before I left the house, it said 27. So I'll look that up in Celsius for the rest of you guys and put it up here in the corner. Up in the corner. You'll see it. Put a new wrap on my hiking staff too, which we'll need this for setting up the teepee again. Alright, I actually got this shelter idea from the Huntsman, so you guys will have to go check his channel out. I'll leave a link in the description. Okay, so you lay your tarp out flat with your upside on the bottom. The top of your tarp, you know what I mean. So then you stake your back corner. It's easier to start off with it flat. You guys are watching me set this up for the first time like this. But that's what this area is for. So tape one whole side, or stake one whole side down. Okay. You fold it in a triangle. And then this part comes up and gets tied down. So I need to get that tight, stake this down. So we end up with our middle grommet. We got a nice triangle, so pull that tight. Attaching my stake, that's all. So we'll pull that nice and tight. That for the other corner. Alright. So here would be our corner grommet. We want to go past that. We want the center grommet. Okay? And then I'm going to attach a piece of paracord onto that. Attach that to my center grommet. And I'm going to share a trick with you guys. This is something I do to my hiking staffs because I use my hiking staff in my shelter a lot. So I drill a couple holes all the way through. I've got one here, one down here. Yeah. And then if need be, I've got two more here and here if for whatever reason I need to take my wrap off and use those. So that's what I do to almost every one of my hiking staffs. And we're going to run that piece of paracord, which by the way is a 1/4 inch hole, if you guys need that for a reference. Paracord fits very nicely through a 1/4 inch hole. Okay, and I'm going to go through my top hole so I've got as much height as I can get. So then once I've got that on there, am I off camera here? I am. Yeah, once I've got this through the hole in my hiking staff, we'll pull this out a little bit farther just so it's got some more stability to it. This works a lot better if you are probably using a tree so that you can go a little bit higher, but as you see with my little spot right here, I don't have the ability to use a tree at the moment because the wind is coming this direction, so I want the back of my shoulder facing towards the wind. Oh, that's better. There we go. Okay, so there's our door. I can tie back if I want to, but the wind's just going to keep pushing it this way. This other flat, can you guys see this? I'm just going to tie this to my stake that I used to make my triangle. For extra measure, I'm just going to pull that side out a little bit and stake it down. So we got it staked down back there, staked down here, and then I used one stake down there, and then this wouldn't necessarily have to be staked off if I was closer to a tree. So here's our door and our lovely inside. So there's the floor that we can sleep on. I can stack some gear over there. That'll work out. So hey Huntsman, thanks for the tip, man. I think I'm gonna like this. Thing I always carry in my winter possibles, because my possibles kit changes just like my EDC kit does from season to season. So in my possibles, when it's winter time, I always carry 2 emergency blankets. I think we're only going to have to probably use 1. Alright, we got that out. So now I'm going to put my whoopee down. This is more so that like there's less air to escape than if I was just wrapped up in the wool blanket. Wool is very warm, but I wanted an extra layer, and I want to... This is like testing my limits because I've stayed nights out on my trap line with my sleeping bag and a emergency blanket inside of my bag, but I've never done what we're going to be doing. Okay, now my wool blanket. Thanks, Mom. I don't know if you watch my videos or not. Mom got me this for Christmas, guys. Love you, Mama. Let's start getting some firewood put together. Let's talk about processing firewood for about 30 seconds. And why I don't process a whole lot of firewood and why I burn long logs. Because I'm a lazy camper. But it allows me to get out and have the fun. You guys, it is so much work to process firewood. That is hard labor too. So a lot of times I do take the easy approach and I'll just stagger my logs onto a fire and leave them hanging out the ends. As long as you're responsible about it, it's not that dangerous. I don't see the problem with it as long as you're on top of it. Why do I carry a tomahawk and a saw? Because sometimes you still need that stuff. I'll carry the tomahawk before I carry the saw. Piece of chubby twine, ferro rod, and I got my knife on my hip. Get a log to kneel down on so our knees stay dry. So we take our chubby twine, I make this stuff. I'm hoping to have it for sale by the time this episode comes out, so if it is, I'll leave a link in the description. Take one section of the twine out, throw the other stuff over with my fire kit. Take the end, because it's all super waxed. Some other stuff in it. Fray our end up. I like to pinch it like that. There it goes. Cooking up some jambalaya rice to go with this squirrel. So yeah, we're just kind of hanging out, staying warm. This is actually reflecting a lot of heat into the shelter, so I'm a little bit more confident about staying out here tonight. Dinner of champions. I kind of screwed up with the squirrel and I didn't let it thaw out before I came down here, so it's still pretty frozen solid. Rice is good though. It's a little soupy, but hey, it's food. Alright, I'll talk to you guys when I'm done eating. Coffee time, right? I'm just going cowboy style right in the cup tonight. Let's get it all loaded up with ashes. It's actually going to sit there quite nicely. Can you guys hear my chickens? I can hear them right now. It's pretty chilly when you get away from the shelter and the fire, guys. I mean, it is cold getting away from there. It's probably only like 20 degrees out here. It's not very warm at all. Ah, I love this cup. It just keeps the coffee hot for so much longer than a regular like steel cup or one of even my little plastic ones that I had Deegan sticker up for me. This is just so much better. So I bring this up a lot, and I don't think I've ever really talked about it a whole lot. I will call this a pro tip, guys. I'm getting ready to use a catheter to empty my bladder, and I already took it out of my pocket. So when you're walking around, I use intermittent straight caths, and I don't get the little packets of lubricant anymore. I get bottles of it, which kind of sucks, to be honest. So I'm trying to switch my catheter and my wet wipes, which when I'm out, I just use little packs like these, little singles, but I use 2 of them at a time. This stuff stays in my pocket inside of my pajama pants under my regular pants, because if you guys have seen my video on how I stay warm in the cold, I've got all my layers on. So I always keep a catheter and what I'm going to need inside of those pants, inside of my pajama pants under my outside pants. So there you go, pro tip. Hope that helps. Ready to lay down at the end of the night. It's about 9:15. Surprisingly, we still have quite a bit of traffic out there. Now, I've been kind of just laying in here staying warm, but I'm doing kind of the burrito effect. You lay on it like it's a big diamond, your wool blanket, and then you wrap the bottom around your feet, like your bottom corner goes up over your feet, and then you wrap your sides in. So wrap your sides up. When it wants to wrap up. Okay, and then you end up, there's like this little cowl back here too that you can wrap up with. So now that I'm all cozy, I gotta move again to shut the camera off. Oh, it's about midnight. It was getting a little cold, so I woke up, restocked the fire some. Getting ready to lay back down now, so it's not uncomfortable in the blanket. It's still chilly, but not uncomfortable. Alright guys, I'm gonna warm up a little bit and crawl back in bed. I'm tired. Alright, before I lay back down, I actually decided to leave this open because it's just warmer in here with that open. So, trying to lay back down. This is my wool socks. I'll show you guys how I wrap myself up in this thing. Take the corner that your feet are by, pull that up to your legs. I like to take my left side and go over and then take the right side and wrap everything. Good morning. I'm cold. It's cold. My fire went out last night. I'm gonna guess it. Like 5 in the morning ish. It's about 7 now. I had a good couple of hours of straight sleep though. So this little, my camera gonna focus? This was a good test though. I don't know where my hat went. It is gone right now. My head got cold, so I put my hood up. Yeah, that fire is out. It's dead. Nothing. I did end up having to put my tomahawk back here to lift that up off my head some. Thanks, Tristan. Had a subscriber send me this, guys. Thing's awesome. Getting all the grounds in this one. Do a first sip. Since I'm not eating breakfast this morning and I don't like you guys watching me eat anyways. I'm going to sit here and enjoy my coffee and sit by my little fire until it goes out. And then I'm going to pack camp up and head up home. So, yeah, let's talk about last night. I mean, I stayed pretty warm last night underneath the, I didn't even end up folding my whoopee over top. I just slept on top of that and was all wrapped up in my wool blanket. So, I mean, even down to, it got to like 15 degrees last night. And I was warm. I mean, except for my head, but yeah, that's because my hat came off, and then let me put my hood up. I was fine. So, alright guys, I want to thank you all for coming on this little adventure with me, even though it's just in the backyard bushcraft office. That's what we'll call this, my backyard bushcraft office. So, yeah. Thanks for coming along. I'm going to finish my coffee, watch my fire, and I will see you guys on the next one. Thanks for coming.